my dollars make it hurt.
Okay. Hello, my name is Joel Laurier, and today I have the honor of interviewing and introducing Heather McCulloch, who is this year's JALT 2020 Kevin Cleary Award recipient. Um, Good morning, and thank you for taking some time to speak with us today.
Thank you for having me.
That's a pleasure. I'm hoping we can take about 15 minutes to get to know you and get to know the topic of your presentation for JALT 2020 this year. So first, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Heather McCulloch, and I'm from Tennessee in the United States, and I've been in Maebashi, Japan for about 19 years now, and I am a member of the Guma JALT chapter.
Oh, well done. Okay. Now, the Kevin Cleary Award is quite an honor. I mean, Kevin Cleary was a very well respected president of JALT, who sadly passed away a few years ago, who exhibited qualities of leadership that we wanted to honor through an award. And I think you're a very good candidate to have this award this year because you represent leadership of the non-traditional kind. I think you exert leadership not through necessarily your words, but through your actions. And can you tell us a bit about how you are involved, not necessarily in the community, but in showing leadership to the various communities you're in?
Sure. First, I'm a single mother, and the community of mothers in my neighborhood, as well as the PTA. And also, I'm a part-time teacher at a couple of the universities here in Guma. And on top of that, I'm also the president of the Guma JALT chapter.
It's quite a bit to handle for such a young person. Um, so there's a lot of work there, and hopefully this is going to be another year of work and work and work, and hopefully lots of success for you. So congratulations for winning the award.
Thank you.
But with the award comes a presentation. And I'm very much interested in seeing or hearing what you will be presenting at JALT 2020.
Yeah, the title is Working with Introverts in the Education Community. And I will be talking about introverts. And I'm going to talk about what they are and what they're not. And I'm going to be talking about how teachers can see the really wonderful things that they have to bring into the language classroom. And also I'll be helping teachers understand how introverts and extroverts can work together.
Very interesting take. I think in the EFL sector, we focused on participation and actively engaging, and we talk about community work, but we often don't hear about the persons who can't or don't join groups for reasons like they're introverts, and that's not their comfort zone. So it's very interesting to hear something novel like this coming up. I'm wondering where the passion comes for to join this type of research.
Um, yeah, I have a lot of passion because I have been an introvert my entire life, and going to school when I was young was really hard. Um, so introverts, we get overwhelmed by a lot of stimulation around us. So being in class with all of the noise and all of the activities is really overwhelming, and it's really hard for us to speak quickly and to think about what we want to say and be able to get that out as quickly as the teacher wants us to. So I had a long history of being an introverted student, and now I'm an introverted teacher. So even though I'm a teacher, I still spend my days at school. Um, so just from my own experience, I actually, it started, my research started because I just wondered why um, I was so exhausted after a day at school and why things were hard for me. So it began as just, I just wanted to know for my own self. And as I started to think about it, I thought, hey, you know what? I'm not the only one who's who's struggling here. So I really wanted to help other introverts feel like they're not alone, and other teachers to see that, you know, they really do have so much to offer.
So do you find as an introvert you can more easily find an introvert? Because I think those aren't the ones we're looking for usually. We're, you know, good teachers would look to engage them and bring them into the conversation and make them
Mm.
more participative or communicative.
I think if you know what to look for, it's pretty easy to spot them. I can spot them in my own classes, and um, but I also teach a lot of science students, and the sciences tend to attract introverts, so it is pretty easy for me to spot them. But yeah, I think that they can benefit from somebody who knows how they feel, and somebody who can confidently, you know, say, hey, I know this is going to be hard, but you know, we'll do this together.
And do you find that introverted students more easily find you more approachable, knowing, I don't know if you introduce yourself as an introvert, but do they
I mm,
find your introverted um, techniques and associate with that?
um I I don't tell them that I am an introvert. I don't talk about that in my classes, but I think what they find more approachable is the fact that I'm I'm not disappointed if they're quiet, and I give them the time to think about what they want to say. And I think that they find that comforting, and they are more relaxed, which means that they would be more willing to talk to me.
There you go. So you're talking about introverted students. So you, of course, you're going to be telling us what an introvert is, probably what an extrovert is, and what's the difference? How do we spot them? What else can we expect to hear from you in your presentation?
Yeah, so what they are and what they're not. Um, so I want for people to understand that being an introvert is not a choice. It's not my attitude or your student's attitude. They haven't chosen that they don't want to talk in class, and you know, it's not that they hate you. It's just that there are things going on. Um, in their brain and in their bodies that cause them to need to be quiet. And that's what I want teachers to understand, is that it is not a choice. It's not a bad attitude. It's what people physically need. And I think when people understand that, um, then it's easier to talk about things that we can do in the classroom to make them feel more comfortable, because introverts have wonderful personalities. It just takes a little bit more time. And if you are not understanding, and you're not willing to wait just a little bit, then you will probably never see the good qualities that they have.
Do you find it's easier in Japan to do this research? Because Japan is known for having shy students or quiet
Mhm.
students. Um, Now that's not necessarily introverted, but do you find that it's a riper field to do research in because of the fact that there are so many shy people here?
I do. I feel like, well, for me, because a lot of my students are science students, and I think that I do have uh, more introverted students. Yeah, because of the culture and because of the students that I teach, and I, I have a lot of opportunities to just watch how my students interact with each other and kind of see when their energy levels are starting to lower. And yeah, I really feel like I I get to do research every single day.
All these people that, yeah, that have so much to offer, but yet we tend to want to convert them and make them, participant
Mm,
these participants in our classes. But that usually means engagement, and in EFL context, that means
yeah, well, I think the harder you push, the quieter they're going to be.
yeah, yeah. So it's a very interesting talk, and I'm hopeful that this can start a conversation on how we can more carefully address them and how we can bring that in. Because as we bring in more international students, I think more Japanese students will be facing different challenges, and there will be cultural challenges that they've still yet to meet, even though they have foreign teachers. When you have foreign students, that's a bit more different and intimidating for people who probably be introverted. So I
Yeah.
look forward to hearing this talk. Can you tell us, when are you giving this talk?
It will be Sunday morning at 10:45 to 11:45, and I will be doing a Zoom presentation.
Okay, so that's Sunday, November 22nd, right?
Yes,
Okay,
10:45
Japan time.
Japan time.
Okay, so for those of you joining us from outside of Japan, please remember it's Japan time.
Is that your alarm clock?
If you have any other questions about Heather McCulloch's presentation or any other presentations going on at JALT 2020, please look at the JALT.org schedule of events and presentations, and you can find all the information you need there. So Heather, thank you very much for having taken time to give us just a teaser of your presentation. I look forward to seeing you on November 22nd.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you and everybody else.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
These my dollars make it hurt.